Okay. The name of this teaching is How God Saved the World from Two Evil Empires. This is something I've been studying for 40 years. The name of this, let's see here. How God used the Jews. How God used the Jews to save the whole world from two evil empires. So, okay, get this hooked up. Okay, so how to start this? Okay, what this is going to be, about a mystery in the Bible. A mystery if you take the whole Bible. Now, we know that the Jews only read what we Christians would call the Old Testament, that they don't believe that Jesus was the Messiah. Now, Jesus did exist, he was a Jew, and everybody that wrote, whether it's the Old Testament here or the New Testament here, was a Jew. And so the Apostle John was a Jew. He wrote the book of Revelation back here. And okay, so I want to show you something. Just a minute here. Go to Revelation chapter 6. I think it's chapter 6. Okay, where the seals are opened here in the end of days. Okay, so we're going to go there. We'll just put this there. We're going to go to Genesis because I want to read you something about the sons of Jacob, who God renamed Israel. And before he died, he prophesied over them. It says he blessed them. And what that means is he prophesied over them through God's Holy Spirit speaking through him to tell them what would happen to them in the latter days. So it's a prophecy for the very far, far future. So we go to, I believe it's chapter 50 something here, just a second here. Well, goodness me. I'm clear over in Exodus. My hands don't work. Okay, the death of Jacob, Israel's blessing, right here. Now, Israel is Jacob. You have to remember that Jacob, there was Abraham. He had a son named Isaac. And then Isaac had two sons by the name of Jacob and Esau. They were twins. And Jacob is the line through whom was Jesus the Christ. So Jacob, at a point, there's a story in here where God likes to rename people. He renamed Abraham. At first, Abraham's name was Abram. He renamed him Abraham. And Jacob, he renamed Israel in a story further back. We're in chapter 49. Now, what you have going on here is that all of the Israelites, all the sons of Jacob, of Israel, he had 12 sons, and they're all in Egypt now because of the story of Joseph, how his brothers sold him into slavery because they were envious and jealous, and he went to Egypt, and he was at first a slave, And then, due to God's intervention and dreams that he had, he became basically second under Pharaoh. Nobody went to Pharaoh to ask him anything. They went to Joseph. Pharaoh gave him charge over everything. And so towards the and then later, because there's a famine in the land, we're not going to get into those stories, but they all wind up in Egypt because of the famine, where they will be there 400 years and eventually become slaves and then be delivered out of Egypt by Moses, to whence they will go into what was called the land of Canaan. Canaan was the grandson of Noah, and his descendants had settled in that land, and God had given them 400 years to repent of their wickedness, which they wouldn't. And so at that time, he delivered the children of Jacob, the tribes, which became tribes. He had 12 sons, and these became known of as the 12 tribes of Israel. And so God delivered them out of Egypt by the hand of Moses to go into the land of Canaan to defeat the people there and take the land. After God gave those people 400 years to repent of their idolatry, and it wasn't just like they were happy pagans. They participated in child sacrifice and many other abominable acts. So they lost their right to the land. That's the way it goes. So it's the end of Jacob's life. And what he's going to do here is he's going to prophesy over his sons. It says he called his sons to him and he blessed them. And what he does is that means he prophesied. He put a blessing upon them. He prophesied over them what would befall their tribes, these people, in the latter days. So we're going to read that, what he said, because you're going to see a stark difference. I'm going to show you something between the mention of these sons here in Genesis and the mention of these sons here in the book of Revelation. All right, so where are we at here? Okay, so it's chapter 49. And just a minute, I got to make sure I'm still, yeah, I am, okay. It says, and Jacob called unto him his sons and said, gather yourselves together that I might tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. You know, I think what I'll do is maybe if I could get closer, just a second here. Let me find the IV cam. Get closer to this right here. Nah, just a second. There should be a way to work this thing. Let's see. The meeting. I can't find the controls. Okay, well, if you go to Genesis 49, it's right here. I can always redo this later. What I'd really like to have done, if I could find everything, is have this showing, but also I'm going to share a different screen here. Just a second. I'm going to put the Bible up there from Gateway Bible. Hold on. Just a second here. Genesis. Genesis 49. Okay. Genesis 49. Screen share. Well, how come you're not up there, you booger? Show all windows. There we go. Just a minute here. Wonder why it's not showing. Let's try this one. Genesis 49. I'm going to see if it'll share. Screen share. Yep. Oh, now it shows both of them, so I can use either one. Which one do I have? Oh, let's just use Blue Letter Bible. Well, no, we use Bible Gateway for now. And you can go away. Well, I'm getting kind of a hard start here. All right. Okay, so here we are, right here. This is what I'm reading from the word here. It says, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I might tell you that which shall befall you in the latter days. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. That which shall befall you in the latter days. Gather yourselves together and hear, you sons of Jacob. This is the 12, this is who became the 12 tribes of Israel. At this time, there's like maybe 150 of them with their children, etc. Says, Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might and the beginning of my strength, and the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. Reuben was the firstborn. All the main honor, blessing of the family was to go to him. But he slept with one of his father's concubines and he lost that. See, that's a big no-no. So he says, unstable as water, you shall not excel, because you went up to your father's bed and you defiled it. He went up to my couch. Simeon and Levi are brethren. I think they were twins. I can't remember now. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation. My soul, come not thou unto their secret, into their assembly. My honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. So the situation that happened with them two was they had a sister, and there was these people, this other people, and this guy's king's son was really in love with their sister. And anyway, a situation happened where he lay with her, but then they worked it out to where they could get married, and stuff. And then just a situation happened where Simeon and Levi wound up killing off a whole people over this situation when they really shouldn't have. But we won't get into that. So anyway, they're not going to excel to be the head of the tribe. So first, you had Reuben. Then the next two born were Simeon and Levi. Now, Jacob had two wives. It's a long story, but he also had a couple of concubines, other women, maids of his wives that he had children by. And so Simeon and Levi, they're not going to inherit either. They're not going to inherit the main blessing. because of their sin. See, sin separates us from the blessings of God. Now, here we go. Judah, you are he whom your brethren shall praise. Your hand shall be in the neck of all your enemies. Your father's children shall bow down before you. Thy father's children shall bow down before you. Now, what's really interesting here is that even though there were 12 tribes, and you're going to see that they all had tribes named after them, like Reubenites, Simeonites, Levites, things like that. Even though they were tribes, it's interesting how they have all become named after this one tribe. And there's a whole long historical reason for that. That's why they're all called Jews. See, Jews. It's named after Judah. Eventually, the southern part of Israel, at one point in time, it was one nation. Then they had what you might call a civil war and split in half, and they became two nations. The top 10 tribes in the north became known of as Israel, kept the name Israel. The two tribes underneath, which was mainly Judah, that area of land, Judah and Benjamin became known of as Judah. It became known of as Judah because that was the main portion of land of that split of that nation. Okay, so it'd be like in America, if the Civil War, if the Confederates would have been able to secede from the Union, we would be called the United States and they would be called the Confederacy. And so at a later time, you had the northern portion of land called Israel. Just a minute. And the southern part called Judah. And from that, all these tribes became known of as Jews through a bunch of historical happenings and circumstances. Okay, so it says, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be on the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? The scepter. A scepter is what a king has. Remember, see, because of different things, the first three in line of succession did. See, then the scepter, the main blessing, is given to Judah. It says the scepter, kingship, rule, authority shall not depart from Judah. Now, interesting that we call all of Jacob's sons from all these tribes, collectively, we call them Jews. Okay. So the scepter, so this is a promise to them. You know, God is into renaming them. You might say that he brought them all under one tribe, the tribe of Judah. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet. See, they will always be a nation. That's that. Okay, and the promise to Abraham was not just that he would have a nation, but that he would inherit the world, the earth. All over the Psalms, it talks about how the meek will inherit the earth and delight themselves in the abundance of peace. Okay, so it says, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Now, this here is talking about the Messiah. Binding his foal to the vine and his ass's colt unto the choice vine, he washed his garments in wine and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, his teeth white with milk. So this is ultimately has a prophecy to do with the Jews and with the Messiah governing the earth. So now we're going on to the next son, which is Zebulun. Zebulun shall dwell. Now there's mysteries and understandings behind these prophecies that only God knew that would come to pass and be revealed to us in the latter days. Okay. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea and shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Issachar, now see, that makes me want to look at the maps, of the allotments that the 12 tribes got, and see, does that have to do with the allotment they got in the land of Israel? Or does that have a deeper, more futuristic meaning? So it says, Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea. He shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Issachar is a strong ass crouching down between two burdens. See, and he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant. And he bowed his shoulder to bear and became a servant to tribute. Now, here's the tribe that we want to get to, because this is where this great mystery comes in. And what I'm going to show here is how I believe God used the tribe of Dan to save the world from two of the most evil empires that would ever arise. And that is the Roman Catholic Church and Islam. Now, I need to make a distinction that the Roman Catholic Church that started in the 300s through Constantine, the Emperor Constantine, was not the same faith that Jesus started in the first, was not the same faith that is spoken of here in the book of Acts and in the New Testament. That was a perversion. And I'll tell you the reason why the Roman emperor converted his whole nation to Christianity was because he couldn't beat them. Christianity, the faith of Christ had so taken over the whole Roman Empire and then known world. I mean, there were as many Christians as there were pagans, if not more. Okay, so here's what it says about Dan. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path that bites the horse's heels, so that his rider shall fall backwards. I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Okay, so what we're ultimately going to look at here is Dan, but we're going to go ahead and read the rest of these guys here. All right, so Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at last. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Naphtali is a hind let loose, he gives goodly words. Joseph is a fruitful bough, even a fruitful bough by a well, whose branches run over a wall. The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. Even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with the blessings of heaven above and the blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessings of the breast and of the womb. The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors, unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from Benjamin. Now, this is interesting because this blessing sounds like the blessing. See, maybe I don't know. That's interesting. This blessing sounds like the blessing that Isaac gave his son Jacob. And so I would be wrong about that. Judah did not inherit the blessing. Maybe it was Joseph that inherited the blessing, but Judah still had that kingship. So this is really interesting how this sounds so much like the blessing that Abraham gave Isaac and Isaac gave Jacob. And Jacob is now speaking upon Joseph. Okay, Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey. At night he shall divide the spoil. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is it that their father spake unto them and blessed them, every one according to his blessing he blessed them. And he charged them and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephron the Hittite. Okay, so this is where they also buried Abraham and Sarah, and they buried Isaac and Rebekah, and that he buried his wife there. I don't know if he buried Sarah there, but he says, I buried Leah there. So, I wonder, oh yeah, Isaac and Rebekah. Oh, wait a minute. He buried Leah. Anyway, now here's what the interesting thing is. So you see all 12 sons mentioned here in Genesis 49. I seem to have missed something about Dan. I want to go back up and read about Dan again. Keep going. Okay. Yeah, Dan. Dan shall be a serpent in the way, an adder in the path that bites the horse's heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. Oh, no. Okay. I missed part. Up here. This is the part. Dan shall judge the people as one of the tribes of Israel. Remember that. Dan shall be a serpent in the way, an adder in the path that bites the horse's heels, so that his rider shall fall back. I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. Okay, so you see here that Dan is mentioned. It says he shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Now we're going to look at Revelation. And we're going to see the 12 tribes being sealed in the final days. Let's see. Okay, we're going to go here. The 5, they call it the 4 horsemen. There's actually 5. Just a minute here. Okay, now these people are sealed when the wrath of God is about to come upon the earth, so that the wrath of God will not come upon them. All right, it says, after these things, I saw four angels. Here, let's go back and we'll read the last part of this. Okay, so it says here, and I beheld, and when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll. See this yet future. When it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Here we go. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every freeman hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For what's the timing here? For the great day. It's not just a single day. Okay, it's a period of time that's going to take place right after this. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Okay, now after these things, I saw four angels standing upon the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel descending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, listen to this, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Okay, who's the children of Israel? The sons of Jacob that we just got done reading, that he just prophesied on and blessed, put God's blessing upon them, where God foretold their future. Okay, so in a mystery, what's called in a mystery. Okay, and he says, here we go, of the tribe of Judah. Remember, who was the first ones in Genesis? Reuben was the firstborn, and then Simeon and Levi. But they did not inherit the blessing of the firstborn, or the place, the inheritance. See, the inheritance. See, I'm a little confused because, as I said, it looks like Joseph received a blessing, but Judah still received the place of the firstborn, which is why he's also mentioned here first, by the way. And we know that it is written in the book of Matthew that Jesus Christ came out of the line of Judah, descended from David. Okay. So it says, of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Now look, of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad, the order here is really interesting. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh, now wait a minute. There was no Manasseh mentioned in Genesis. Why would that be? We'll find out here in a second. Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon, okay, now Simeon and Levi are here together again, but they're down the line. Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000. Now, where did we now? Oh, okay, that's right. Now, Dan is not mentioned. And so who took Dan's place? Manasseh. Why is that? See, why is not the tribe of Dan mentioned here? And for that matter, why is Manasseh mentioned and not Ephraim? Makes me wonder too. And now I want to remember who was the firstborn of Joseph's. See, that was a son of Joseph. In this, the son of Joseph, Manasseh, his name takes the place of the tribe of Dan. So what happened to the tribe of Dan? Why isn't he mentioned here? Why wouldn't these Jewish writers mention the tribe of Dan? And for that matter, why wouldn't they mention the tribe of Ephraim rather than using the name of Joseph? Questions to be asked. Okay, so these are sealed out of all the tribes of Israel. What happened to the tribe of Dan? Well, we're going to find out. So this is harder to put together for people than you realize. I'm going to have green coffee. All right. So Ephraim is not mentioned. Okay, so I'm trying to decide what I want to show you next. Okay. It's easier. It's like it was going to be. It's one thing when you have all this stuff in your head, you're thinking of all this in your head. But then to try and explain what you want people to see now, it has to do with this book here. It's a book called The 13th Tribe. And this is about a people that lived, that had an empire. Okay, so what I want to show you is how the tribe of Dan became this people and wound up living on the only overland route between Europe and the Middle East, and how they eventually became an empire that ruled that area, and that they kept the Muslims from invading Europe, and they kept the Catholics pretty much from invading the Middle East. And what they wound up doing was keeping a balance of world power, so that the day would come when there would still be free people, and we wouldn't have to be Muslim or Catholic. So I'm going to show you some things here. They're called the Khazars. And this is called the 13th tribe. Remember, there's only 12 tribes, right? Okay, now Joseph had 2 tribes. So we take 12 and we add 2 to that. Ultimately, we got 14 tribes, because God told Joseph that his two sons would both inherit a portion of land. Let's look at that. Let's look at the map first. Let's see. Go up here. Okay. Up here. Map of the 12 tribes of Israelites. Okay, let's look at it here. What would be the best one? This looks like a good one. English language or Portuguese? Let's see. Here we go. Better yet. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we're doing good here, except I should be on. I gotta reshare. Okay, where did my map go? Okay. Okay. Okay, so here we go. All right, so let's find Judah first, which is right here. Here's Judah. Okay, so that's one. Well, except where's Ben? Okay, Benjamin. Okay, so here's Simeon. Here's Judah. Okay, so there's one. Let's open this up with, let's see, open with, oh, I'm still not on the right one, so hold on. Here, just a minute. Try this instead. I didn't know that had a screenshot. How do I do that?
This is a reminder.
Well, this is not working out.
This is a reminder to speak in tongues.
This way. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we're going to look at it here. We're going to start down here. Now, Philistia, they never did conquer. How about that? Ain't really hardly conquered today, right? This is Gaza right here. See right there? It was Gaza clear back then. It's Gaza today. Okay, so we're going to write on this. We're going to go do it in blue, color visual. Okay, so one. Oh, that ain't working out. Wait a minute. Why this ain't working? It's irking me. This pen is supposed to get thicker. One, two. Well, we should make Judah one. Let's name them according to what it is in the book of Revelation. Okay, so Judah was first. Gad was mentioned second. Let me start. Open my Bible. Okay, Judah. Okay, Judah, Reuben, Gad. Okay, so let me undo that. Judah, Reuben, Gad, Judah, Reuben, Gad, Asher. Where are you at there, Asher? 4. Asher, 12,000. Naphtali, 5. Manasseh, 12,000. 6. Oh, divided by the sea there. River Jordan, Manasseh, River Jordan. Simeon would be number 7. Number 7. Levi was number 8. Oh, they didn't have a portion. Okay. Okay, so number 8 didn't have a portion because they were the Levites, and so they didn't get part of the land. They didn't get their own country or county or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so Levi is not there. Let's see, Levi. Was he would have been number 8. Okay. Levi. Issachar, 12,000. Issachar would have been number 9. Well, heck, where's he at? Oh, right here. So he's technically 8, but he's really 9. So now we have technically this or technically that for the rest. Zebulon. Zebulon. Where are you, Zebulon? Hmm. Oh, there we are. Here are 8, 9. Here are 9, 10. And really, here, there are 10. Zebulun. Joseph, 12,000. Now, there is no Joseph here. What you have is this one here, Ephraim. Ephraim, 8, 9, this would be 10. 10 altogether, these guys here. The sons of Joseph. Look at what they were given. Holy heck. They were given a huge portion. Wow. They were, Manasseh was given more land than anybody else. That is really interesting. Hmm. Benjamin. 10. Benjamin is 11. Who am I missing? I missed 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven. Oh, that's right. Getting in there. 7. 8. Hey, Alexa, what time is it in Israel?
In Israel, it's 5:09 p.m.
Well, that's all we're going to do today. But what I'm eventually going to show is how the tribe of Dan was driven away and became what is called the Khazars. Okay, that's all I'm doing. Don't say.